Hey guys, it's Gabby, creator of the Tiger Tutor Delivery Girl series. It is Saturday morning. I am sitting here with my cup of tea, and I am going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about process. I recently was doing a little bit of thinking about how Tiger Tutor is, in a lot of ways, a very, very, I wouldn't say stereotypical, but commonplace cyberpunk, where it does have a lot of really, really recognizable elements in it. Future LA, where there's a just giant seawall because, a lot of America has been flooded. But I wanted to leave that structure as is, so it can actually play with different elements, like social elements and some political aspects, things like that. And other things such as things that you wouldn't normally expect in cyberpunk, things that happen to real humans that aren't necessarily really good at fighting, for instance. The way I handled violence in Tiger Tutor was a little bit different. There's definitely a lot of it still in there. It's a pretty gritty story. People are getting beat up and shot and hurt all the time. But I wanted to handle it a bit differently. I think we're so used to, the 80s and 90s of, American film where, there's just this dangerous moment where we need a patriot to pick up a gun and protect America or his family or his gal, and while the main character Lyle is a dude who's in a dangerous situation, he's not really good at fighting people. He's a tutor. He's a college student. He's worked in a restaurant his entire life with his family. He's not exactly someone who knows his way around a gun. His sisters, on the other hand, some are good, really good at it. So he does learn to take on this violence from his family, but he's not really good at it. And I did want to go ahead and dive into that because I thought that was not only more realistic, but also kind of a funny, delightful, and really humanistic space to explore. There's a portion in Tiger Tutor where Lyle is taught how to use a rifle for the first time, and he's tasked, I should say, by his sister to protect them while they're going through a caravan of raiders that are trying to attack them. And this is the first time that Lyle has even held a gun before. He's never really needed to. He's given this sort of crash course on, using this rifle, and, tries to do his best, but ultimately accidentally shoots himself in the leg. A little bit was meant to be funny, of course, but a lot of it is also meant to show you that you're not just going to be a pro if you pick up a gun on the first day. Even if you are a pro, sometimes you can hurt yourself or other people around you. And it's not so much of a Second Amendment statement, but more of like a parody of what I see a lot in sci-fi and action movies, where the guy will just know how to just pick up a weapon or a bomb and just disarm it, and he'll know how to suddenly be John Wick within 3 seconds. And I think that's really funny. And I don't really like it when I see it, because I'd rather see someone struggle. I'd rather see someone fail and learn things from that, which is why I make Lyle fail a lot in the story. But I do like using Lyle as an element, as a sort of, he's really brand new to violence. And even though he's lived in a really bad neighborhood his entire life, he's been lucky and privileged enough to not have to have his hands get dirty. And a lot of people have kept him safe, and he's not even really kind of thought about it most of the time, about the kind of dirty work that that goes into keeping your family safe when you're really desperate, things like that. But yeah, so I did want to go ahead and talk about that, things like that. The characters who are really good at committing violence in the story, people like Kim, and even people like Crazy 8, who, is a vet. He's an army vet, and he gets out and he gets into a pretty bad place, unfortunately, both financially and emotionally, because he pretty much slips through the cracks. And he gets his name Crazy 8 from the shipping facility that they all work at, because he, gets into a fight where, he stabs someone. And that doesn't come from, you know, this character being cool. It doesn't come from this character having some sort of tough guy attitude. Crazy 8 is kind of a really nice guy. It's really just this desire to write about what violence is actually like when you're in a place of desperation, when you're in a place where, you know, maybe not everybody is always looking out for you the way they should be. And it's that sort of changes you as a person, and you can make the decision to either try harder to not be violent to people, or try to protect your family more, or you just turn into other characters in the story that you will see pretty soon. Some like Maxim, who are just violent for no reason because they can be and because they're in power. It doesn't work out very well for him. Not exactly a spoiler, he dies in chapter 1, but you can definitely read more into it to see why that is and what happens and how it happens. But that's all for now. I'm going to go ahead and tune out. Let me know what you think about sci-fi and cyberpunk violence in the discussion below. I would love to hear about what you think about people suddenly being amazing marksmen or archers or bomb detonation specialists. I'd love to hear that. I'll check you guys later. See ya.